G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to War Thunder. I'd like to really thank you guys for the absolutely amazing response that you have given me with my War Thunder But I'm Dead Inside video. It blew me away, honestly. I expected it to do decently well, but the comments, the likes, that really it's I'm lost for words. It's incredible. So I'd really love to thank you guys for that. And I'd also like to thank you guys for just being a part of this channel. I really appreciate it. And of course, no, I'm not going to step away from War Thunder. It's just a way of sort of showing off some of the crappy clips that I have, having a laugh, making some jokes, and hopefully making the most out of my bad luck, my bad situations. And that's basically all that I wanted out of it. And that seems to be exactly what has happened. Anyway, ladies and gents, I'd also like to direct you to a couple of other things. I think it might have been 6 months ago, I did a bit of a miscalculation. I said that I had covered the cost of my merch, the artist for the merch, and for another artist, and I basically converted, or I was comparing Australian dollars and US dollars, which are definitely not the same. So I still have a little bit of ground to cover. I reckon if I sold maybe 8 or 9 jumpers. I'm actually wearing one as we record. It's a shame I haven't got a face cam, but it's really comfortable. And if you are looking for something nice to wear around the house, or perhaps down to the local shops, or out to your local Macca's or something like that, or even maybe not to church if you do that sort of thing, but wherever you want to go, it's a really good pickup, and I've had this for maybe 6 or 7 months, no, maybe 9 months, and the print hasn't faded despite being washed basically like once every 2 weeks or once every week. It's pretty good. I can actually recommend it. Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you very much for this 2 minutes of fucking rambling. On to the meat and veg of the patch. This is the MiG-21 SMT, and we are more or less, we've got R-3Rs, which are basically R3s, the crappy ones, but they have a little bit of an edge. They have a little thing called radar guidance. These are semi-active radar homing missiles, which means they talk to your radar on your plane, and they use that data to home in to a plane, which is kind of cool. Now, the MiG-21 SMT gets 4 missiles, and you can stack either 4 R-3Rs, or you can stack, I believe you can stack them with R-3Ss, but I don't know why you would want to do that. For me, I've got them with 2 R-60s as well, which gives me a little bit more leeway. Now, one of the things that you should be doing is there is a new mechanic that has been added to War Thunder, which they didn't talk about. Honestly, for all the shit that everyone gives Gaijin, myself included, they have added some amazing shit this patch. The Red Tails Mustang is one of them. This particular little mechanic is another. And basically it allows you to switch between different types of weapons. So you can switch between different types of rockets in your CAS runs, different types of air-to-air missiles. And you won't really see me doing it here because I haven't mastered it. So I'm going to be using the R-3R. And you can see that whilst it only does have a 10G overload, it has that really wide angle of I'm not really sure what it is. It's like a bore sight or FOV or whatever you'd like to call it. That big, large targeting circle is really helpful when you have a target that needs to be led quite far, and you will have to do that with these air-to-air missiles. It is a bit of a running theme. Now, luckily for me, this particular F4E has decided that verticals are his thing, and he's just going to sort of do that for me. I'm going to get myself a nice, easy double kill on a couple of F4s. Now, the F4 Phantom, which you will also see in this video, is absolutely stacked with missiles and is probably the best plane in the game right now, even tier for tier. I would say that the F4E is absolutely stacked full of missiles. Whilst it doesn't really have the performance, like the FGR 2 has the performance, it's, I don't know, something doesn't really feel right to me with that. I will make a more detailed video explaining what I feel, but for now I think we're just going to go on about how to use these particular missiles. So now that I'm down to my R60s, I'm basically in a dogfighting type situation. What you want to do with the radar-guided missiles is form some sort of high-speed attack plan at some sort of altitude. It doesn't have to be 10,000 meters. I honestly suggest not doing 10,000 meters. For me, I think about 3 or 4 is a really, really good spot. Finding a plane to go head-on with using your radar, locking on, and then using that lock to then go and find yourself some nice, juicy dinner. Like this Phantom right here. Unfortunately, he must have blacked out, and R60s do the trick beautifully. You know what also does the trick beautifully? Turning. And turning I will be doing. This particular Mirage is basically the last of his kind. The last melon, if you will. And unfortunately for him, he is about to get sniped. I don't know. I feel like that was a kill steal in retrospect. You know, I probably shouldn't have done that. Which is fine, because someone accidentally boops me with a missile instead, and that is right karma for yoinking someone else's kill. Don't do it, kids. It is not very respectful, and I apologize. As everyone should. Anyway, now we get on to the thing that makes the Freeaboos absolutely hard. As hard as an AIM-7 Sparrow itself. Now, the F4E gets AIM-9Js and AIM-7Es. Some of the other Phantoms, I believe the F4C gets the AIM-7D, and I can't remember, I think there's another one that gets the AIM-7D, but I'm not quite sure. Not only that, but the F104S also gets the AIM-7E, and as we covered in our dev server video, which, I don't know, it was pretty good, but it's basically an R530 for the French. It's really nothing special, except that it can do the same thing, but head-on, but not at low altitudes, because then it gets confused. Kind of like an old granny when you tell her too much about technology. It kind of feels like that. Not only that, you need to sort of hold its hand with the radar the whole way through, which pushes the granny analogy even further. I kind of like where I went with that, but regardless, what I'm going to be doing here, I've actually found that I've had a lot of trouble getting good matches, and I've been constantly dying, and I've tried different things, and for me, the best sort of strategy seems to be sitting at around 2,000 meters, going around the outside of the map, and this is, I don't know, it feels kind of crap, but if it's the only way to get the job done properly, then it's the way I'm going to be conducting things. Anyway, I notice one thing about these semi-active missiles is that they have a really low sort of spool up time, if you will. I suppose it's just sort of making the data link, and that's really about it. And that's kind of cool. The thing that isn't cool, though, about the Phantom is it gets 8 missiles, which is basically, no, it is double the next highest. And I'm not going to count the F104S, because AIM-9Bs do not count. The AIM-9Bs are, quite frankly, terrible, and you have to be a complete papega to die by them. In saying that, I will probably still die by one down the line. Anyway, here we are with an F4E, and he's nice and close, so I'm going to use that sort of switching mechanic to switch to a little AIM-9J. Now, fortunately for this particular F4E, he's popped flares because he isn't stupid, but he has at the same time not really gone for the aggressive maneuver. He's gone to sort of shy away. And in this particular meta, I've found that if you want someone dead, there is literally nothing that they can do. And here I go with the good old Vulcan. And he's dead. Not only that, but I'm fortunate enough to get a dogfight where I'm away from everyone for a little bit, which is kind of rare. And I'm kind of happy that that happened for me. Not for the F4E, because basically he got oofed. So, next juicy target here is the F4E that is chasing the FGR2 here. Now, I'm going to try and engage with the gun, but it doesn't really work, as the MiG-21, the MF gets the F4E there. Going into the vertical again, I'm noticing that there are more Phantoms everywhere, if you will, and they're just popping out of nowhere. I am going to, I suppose, warm up a missile here, and the radar lock is on the on the EJ. So I just go for guns on this particular Phantom here. The EJ comes back, and it's time for me to lock up that radar, and I'm going to continue to use these particular missiles. I'm going to shoot a little bit of Vulcan if I can, but this EJ doesn't seem to notice me, or maybe is blacked out, or maybe is tunnel visioning. Regardless, I managed to get a kill with the AIM-9Js. You will find that the AIM-9J is a lot more useful overall. And I think I will make a little video on that, just for a little bit of fun, unless you've already seen it. And it's too late for me to say anything else now. So, 3 kills, there are 2 enemies left, and one of them is right there, being pinged by the radar. Now, I'm going to shoot myself a nice little AIM-7 Sparrow at him, and because it has a 1 kilometer dead zone, it takes a little bit of time, so I should be leading them, but regardless, I managed to get the kill anyway. It's really easy to get kills, but at the same time, it is really hard to stay alive in these metas. I found it really, really difficult, and you have to sort of apply unique strategies, or you have to go and find some yourself. And that's what I've been sort of struggling with lately. I don't know if it's just the game mode. I'm going to sort of think about it a little bit, maybe write something down on paper, and hopefully bring that to you in the form of a video very soon. Let me know in the comments, is it me? Is it me that's just finding this a little bit frustrating and stressful? Not really, like angry stressful, but frustrating. Let me know in the comment section. Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this useful. Take care, and I'll catch you next time.